All right, John Boy.
Hey.
It is episode 95.
Yes.
It is. We're only 5 away.
5 away from the big 100.
The big 100. What might happen at 100 episodes? We don't know.
We don't know.
I'm not sure.
Something might change. I don't know.
We're here
As in, like, does something happen on our Spotify account when we reach 100? Do we get into like a Hall of Fame or?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's not many podcasts in Ireland that got to 100 episodes.
Yeah, must have a little look and see if any of the bigger ones have got this far.
I don't think any of them got this far. I think they
without
cancelled.
actually making any impact whatsoever.
Yeah.
We'll go down in the Guinness Book of Records
At
for
least
that.
we have the 5 consistent followers and listeners the whole way through to the 100.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah. So, episode 95, and today we were talking about going back to school.
Yeah, back to
First
school
days of school. We kind of wandered off a little bit into secondary schools and fights for some
we
reason.
talked about experiences of school then and ventured into. And
it was good. I like the school topics. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's nice nostalgia factor for us old guys.
Yeah.
Okay, will we get into naming it?
Yes.
We talked about it during the podcast. There's only really one name for it.
Yeah, I think we're going to go with it. So
okay, so I'll set you up and you can tell everyone what the name is going to be. Okay. All right. So today we're talking about schooling, and it's episode 95,
and we're going to call it "Be Good for God."
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 95. I hope you all enjoyed episode 94, A Slim Fast Johnny, where we talked about different houses and people who lived it over the years. I can't believe we're on episode 95, only 5 left to the triple figures. Episode 100, that'll be a nice milestone, won't it be, for the JB Waffle Hour? Anyway, make sure to rate, like, share, follow and subscribe to the podcast wherever you see it. Drop us an email to thejbwafflehour@gmail.com and check out all our socials. We got TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the whole lot. And don't forget, if you're on Spotify and you're listening to it, make sure to interact with us, either comment whether you like it, what you like about it, or even if you have any topics or questions, and we'll include them in the podcast. Because interaction, comments, it all helps us grow this beautiful podcast so we can get way past the 100 episode.
Wow.
Thanks, Bertie. And Bertie, what are you doing under the table? It's so strange. It's such a weird place to be.
Or inside that little cardboard box.
Get out of that box.
The sound of him.
Under a table in a box. It's such a weird guy.
Is there an elephant in the room? Is there?
It could be. There could be.
Should we clear it up before we...
let's get it out of the way.
Right. Bertie unfortunately passed away last week. And
past wind.
So it was actually me. I moved the day of the podcast recording. Right. And so because we had the Debs, we had the last of our Debs. Actually, I have a cool story about the Debs. I'll tell you about that in a second.
Nice.
So I moved the day of the recording, and unfortunately Bertie has training tonight.
Yeah.
He's training with the...
Technically now it's the
someone
Johnny and Scotty podcast.
It's the start of a new era. I think.
It is. So we're going to try and get this one to be like the highest listenership. And if you could anybody who's listening to this, please do email in and compliment how good John and Scotty did. Because Bertie's the first one that'll read the email.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you don't mind, do it for us.
Although he'll probably send one in saying, it was pretty bad without Bertie, actually.
Yeah, Bertie will send in a lot of fake emails.
It's a different dynamic. We were talking about it during the week, weren't we? And we were saying that, like, whenever, say, it's just you and Bertie, or if it's just me and Bertie, it's a completely different dynamic to the three of us together.
It is. It's almost like, when you're in a room with like a couple of guys, you don't really know one of them. And then your really good friend leaves the room, and then the two of you are just like standing there going
naked.
It's cold outside, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, you know someone through someone. That sort of way.
Yeah.
But I think we're past that now.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Right. This is getting more awkward by the second.
We'll talk about it
later. So, as Bertie said, it's episode 95. And what was last week's episode called? Slim Fast Johnny.
Slim Fast Johnny, yeah, my Slim Fast story.
Oh man, we got away from that podcast, and we went away from recording, and I was telling Nicole about the about that. Well, I was going to tell her about that story. I wanted to tell her so bad, but then I didn't want her to ruin the podcast for her either. So I just kind of left it and waited for her to hear it herself. But I was dying to tell that story.
And what you think of it?
So good.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Good.
It's funny. It's a funny one. I didn't think it was funny at the time, but it was funny after a couple of years. Oh no, I was fairly angry at the time.
Oh, really?
Because I had put so much work. Like this isn't just that's annoying. I had done weeks and weeks of weighing myself every morning trying to put on weight.
No way.
I went to Knightsbrook and I paid a personal trainer literally to build up my muscles.
Right.
And he was like, "You're drinking your protein, aren't you?" Yeah. It's like, yeah, you're losing weight. What's your calorie deficit? I don't know. Just eating as normal. And then it was fucking Slim Fast I was drinking.
That is
just
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, John, how was your weekend, man?
My weekend was quiet, really quiet.
Right.
I didn't even leave the house all weekend. I was just doing stuff at home with the kids.
Right. Chilling.
Chilled this weekend. Saturday.
No DIY even, no?
Just a bit of gardening stuff.
Yeah.
Fucking destroyed me shed and I'm scared to open the door.
Oh no! In what way?
I had an open canister, an open bowl of oil.
Oh God!
That I had done. I cleaned out like something to do with my
the car.
My home heating oil tank.
Oh right.
There's just an open oil bucket sitting on the counter, and I was like, I'll deal with that someday. Something fell on it, oil flung all over the place, all over my tools, all over the wall, all over the kids' bikes.
Oh God!
All over the floor. I had to find ways of catching it before it dropped onto the main ground. It was a nightmare. So eventually I just cleaned up a little bit, put up a few towels, closed the door, and I haven't gone in since.
That'll solve it.
So I'll look at it next weekend.
Would it be? I've never cleaned oil off something, but does it get worse? You don't know.
I have no idea. I'll find out Saturday morning.
Well, this is exciting. We're on a little journey together now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad one, isn't it?
I literally closed the door. It was still dripping onto the towels.
Oh,
that's how soon I got out of there. I was like, I can't deal with this right now.
And how does it feel now? Is it itching at you a little bit when you're going home? You see the garage door, you're like... Oh,
not a bit.
No, don't care.
No, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Class. Isn't it great being a man?
I go by two rules in life.
Oh.
One, and you look at every problem in two ways.
Okay.
Is it something you can do about it? Or is it something you can't do about it? Are you in control of that situation? Or are you not in control of the situation? I'm not in control of the situation, so it's out of mind.
Beautiful.
That's how I work it. If I come across a problem in work, if it has nothing got to do with me, or if I can't do a thing about it, it's fine. It's no stress.
However, in reference to your oil problem, I mean, you do kind of have control over that. You could just go clean it up, like.
No, I do not. I've decided I have no control over it. That's also the third secret rule. You can decide what doesn't matter to you.
You can trick yourself into believing that you can't control anything to do with that. Well, what you're describing is an age-old philosophy called Stoicism.
Stoicism? Oh, very nice.
Yeah, Stoics. So Marcus Aurelius was like the original kind of Roman emperor Stoic philosopher guy. Yeah. And he was big on what you're saying there is like you can only control what's within your control.
Yeah.
Everything else doesn't matter.
And you've got to make the best out of the problem that you have. Yeah. Like if the room is on fire, how can you make this room on fire benefit you in some way?
Cook some marshmallows.
Yeah. So what steaks on your bedside table?
What are you doing with the oil? How are you making that benefit you?
Everything will be nice and
lubed up.
It'll have a lovely patina black to it. The color of the counter will be charred.
Oh, that's quite nice actually. I like that.
All my tools definitely won't rust.
Right.
The spanners that I have are now covered in oil. They will literally never rust.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah. So you work in sales, do you?
I work in retail, yes.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yes.
Always trying to find the sunny side.
Oh, I'm going to hell for what I've told customers. I swear to God. I have sold dirty, manky things to customers. And
you see a Christmas tree with no leaves on it?
Yeah.
I see minimalism.
Yeah. Basically, that is a Gothic tree.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for your style.
Feng Shui.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. My weekend I had a good bit going on this weekend. A good bit. So this week was kind of the first of the under-14s girls were doing a tournament in Cavan in Ballyjamestuff. And
it's a hoorah drive.
It's a bit, yeah. It's long now, but we got a bus.
Okay.
So for us, it was the first time that we've had the team away all as a big group together.
Very good.
So there was 22 girls, myself and George, 2 coaches.
What age group is this again?
14s.
All right, and were they well behaved and how is it?
They were
it
great.
to manage like a gang of 14-year-olds?
No, absolutely fine. Yeah, they're grand. Like, I mean, you have the odd little thing here or there, but that's normal with teams. You can get that at a match, even with the parents there and stuff. Yeah. So, in fairness to them, they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant on the bus, and they all had a great time. They were all laughing and joking, listening to their music, and it was class. Really, really good fun. Loads of team bonding went on. And we went down and we won the shield.
You won it. Nice.
Yeah, well, didn't win the whole tournament now. There's cups and shields. So the cup's kind of the first thing that you play for, and then the shield's the second one. So we got that, and that was nice. Everyone got medals, and we came on home.
And you get to keep the medals.
Get to keep the medals. Get to keep the shield for a year.
A year, okay.
Yeah.
And your names go on it.
Yeah,
very good.
And we get to display that now, and we have something to give them then at the awards night at the end of the year.
Brilliant, actually.
Yeah,
well done.
It's really cool. Yeah.
And do you get any prize? Do you get a medal?
No.
What do you get?
No, just well done.
Okay,
yeah.
Very good. Well done.
The manager should never really take praise for that stuff. Just step away. It's all the girls.
Very good.
So that was my Saturday, but we had 2 people had to go to hospital. So there was like a girl who popped her knee.
Oh shit.
Yeah, really unfortunate. And there was an ambulance there. Yeah, it was not nice.
No.
There was no visible kind of the knee wasn't out or anything, but she could feel it now. And she off to Cavan General. Was
that the first time it happened to her?
Popping the knee anyway, but she's had like knee injuries and stuff in the past. You know? So it's just unfortunate.
Pretty scary, like for her.
It was. Yeah. And then there was another tackle where we thought there was a young fellow went in for a tackle and he thought that he broke his ankle.
Right.
So he had to be taken up to the emergency tent and stuff and looked at. Not that he was fine as well. He was grand in the end. Yeah. He's back walking away there. Saw him there limping through at boy today. He's fine. Not a bother on him. So that was the majority of the weekend, I think.
And Sunday at a game as well, did you?
No, that was Sunday.
Sunday.
We went away on Sunday, yeah. It was busy all Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
And we're gigging Sunday night then?
We were gigging Saturday night. I can't remember where we were Saturday night, though, for some reason.
Probably they all blend into one these days.
No, actually, sorry. We were off for the first time on Saturday night for ages. We had no gigs this weekend whatsoever because we were, as I said, we were doing the Debs run.
Right.
And so we did the Debs in Monaghan last night, which, it was a night of the week. I won't tell you what night we recorded on. So I was doing the Debs last night and playing away. And a young girl standing in front of me about maybe 10 foot away.
Yeah.
She looked at me and she was shouting something at me. I was like, whoa, this is never good.
Yeah. Did she look angry or was she happy?
In between.
All right, okay.
And then she kept on shouting, so I was in the middle of singing. Obviously, you can't really talk to someone over the microphone. So I kind of looking at her, squinting, and then she came a little bit closer, and then I realised it was actually one of my students from the school.
No way.
Yeah. And I was met with bemusement because, she wouldn't, like, what was I doing there?
Yeah, she didn't know you were a musician and stuff.
Well, no, she did. Obviously, I teach her guitar.
Of course. Well, does she know you're a musician, though?
She does know I'm a musician. Yeah, just about. I blag my way through most things in life, but she does know.
You're Marge Simpson.
Yeah.
She didn't know you were gigging.
No.
At that
and well, she's fifth year in secondary school,
right,
so I had no idea why she was there.
Yeah.
But turns out it was the St. Pat's Debs Navan.
Very good.
And we happened to be playing it. And so then all of a sudden there was this fella that I knew and this fella that I knew, other students from the school and stuff.
Class.
It was just a big Navan night. So we ended up, now I would consider myself a bit of kind of 3 parts of me. I went to school in Trim. I consider myself somewhat of a Trimite.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Atboy. I would consider myself really from Atboy. But I also spent a lot of time later life in Navan as well. So
you were a barman in Navan and everything.
Yeah.
The Market Bar or something.
I was in the Market Bar for a little while. Yeah, I was in the Palace. I did a load of stuff in Navan. Navan was kind of
your hub.
Yeah, for my later life, whereas Trim and Athboy was kind of early life. So I'd consider myself from all 3. But this was a Navan Debs, so you have to play up the whole kind of F the other lads.
Yeah.
So we ended up the night by getting all the people on the dance floor and got them to say F trim.
Oh, for feck's sake.
I know. I was playing to the crowd. I felt really bad about it. But
you have to do it.
I also got them to say F at boy as well.
Oh, right, okay.
And there was something about Trim Lads Sisters. Is that a thing?
Trim Lads Sisters. That's still going around.
Yeah. So they got me to say that over the mic as well, just before the last song. And everyone was loving that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I never really see Navan people in trim, to be fair. I see lots of trim people in Navan. You never see Navan people in trim.
Do you know many Navan people?
Not many.
Well, I mean, there's the thing. It could be just a Navan person that you don't know.
Maybe. I lived in Navan for a while, and I didn't. But
you'd recognise a few
I lived
heads.
in Navan for 2 years, and I don't think I've seen the same person twice. So it's weird.
Yeah, Navan's a weird town like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you've like the music. I know a lot of music-y guys in Navan, so they would be floating about quite a lot. So I'd know them. But there is a lot of randomers in Navan, whereas there wouldn't be as much in Trim.
A lot of commuters.
Yes, yeah, it is a commuter town, isn't it? Really,
yes.
More so, I'd say, than Trim or Athboy for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit less of a personal vibe to Navan, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
You know, it's a little
more
bit more
of a
Dublin.
shopping town. Like you come into Navan and then you get out of Navan.
That's
you don't
true.
stay in Navan.
You only come into Navan to get out of it again, pretty much.
Yeah, you go in and you get out.
Do a lap in the shopping centre and way home to Trim.
Banging the fish as well.
But it feels a little bit closer to Dublin than the other two, doesn't it? Like
I think it's because of the straight road, isn't it?
Could be that. Yeah.
It is technically closer. It takes me 35 minutes to get home from work to Kildalkey, and it only took me 25 minutes to get here.
So it's closer to Navan.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Navan's closer to Dunboyne, which is near Blanche. So
yeah, I guess what's Dunshaughlin? Yeah, Dunboyne, Dunshaughlin. Yeah, it's close enough, I guess.
Yeah.
It just feels it though. It's got more of a big town vibe, whereas the other two are a little bit more personal.
Sure, it's capital of Meath, isn't it, Navan?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it probably is. Meath County Council's here and everything, I guess. Yeah.
Capital of Meath.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm pulling on your wire there. Sorry.
I just thought we were very close there for a second.
Figuratively and
it's like you were playing with my hair.
So, would you want to hear actually what Bertie got up for the weekend?
Yes, I'd love to hear.
I'll just pop him in here. Bertie, why don't you tell us how you got on in your weekend?
I actually had a very sporty weekend. I went to see all Matneys play Drumbara in Championship on Friday night. Then we were playing our own Championship Saturday night, but the less we say about that, the better.
Oh, he lost
and
again.
Then, of course, watched Liverpool on Sunday.
Go on, Liverpool.
Got a comeback after being 1-0 down against Newcastle. Fantastic Nunez coming on with the 2 goals. And then I also was doing a bit of training myself on Sunday morning, and that was kind of it. So that was all sports related on my weekend.
So there was a doctor, there was a video of it on again, Lad Bible, fair play lads, of a young fella that got a piece of Lego stuck up his nose.
Oh no.
You didn't see this?
No.
So he thought of a really novel way to get the piece of Lego out. Mm-hmm. So I'll show you the picture there. So what he did was, it was up his left nostril. The doctor held his right nostril put his thumb on the right nostril, put his mouth over the child's mouth, and blew into his mouth.
Oh Jesus!
And out pops the Lego out of the other nostril. So it blew it right up his nose and came popping straight out.
So it did CPR on him technically.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
He didn't go down his lungs and burst his lungs.
Well, it was pushing up the other way. So the air went into his mouth and up that little, the canal that connects the mouth to the nose. Went up to that canal and pushed it out the other way.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So just,
smart.
If you're in that situation...
Yeah, with a Lego up my nose.
Out in public.
One went up a long time ago.
It hasn't come back down.
Hasn't come back down. It's
lodged in your brain.
It's gone way up there now.
It's in the DIY centre of your brain.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, nice little novel way to get that out if you so find yourself in that situation. There you go.
Good to know. Well, in case my son gets into that kind of scenario, it's good to know.
Yes. Yeah, I actually had my daughter got into a little bit of a similar situation to that. It was one of the little airsoft pellets,
right?
But it got stuck in her ear.
Jesus.
So, and we didn't know it was there. She, I don't think knew it was there. But she was sick at the time and she had a temperature. We brought her to the doctor and we thought it was just... So it was nothing to do with this airsoft pellet. It was just the fact that she was going in to get her temperature taken. Yeah. So he put the thing in her ear and he was like, there's something in there.
What the hell is that?
And she can't remember when it went in or anything. She must have been just kind of playing around with it and popped it in and forgot about it.
Wow.
And this little pellet was down in her ear and you could see it was just a little yellow pellet.
Wow.
So he tried to get the tweezers in to get it out and it just couldn't get it. Yeah. It was just too far in there. Yeah. It was one of those
like
kind of...
covered in wax and everything, kind of, so that it was stuck like...
The wax had started to go around it, like, so it was in there for like a week maybe.
Wow.
And so we brought her up to, I think it was Beaumont, or what's the kids' one? Temple Street. Brought up to Temple Street, and it was actually pretty horrific in the end. Like, they had to hold her down. I had to hold her down. She was screaming. It was horrible. But in fairness, the doctor got in with like a tweezers. Didn't hurt her now. Yeah. Got in with the tweezers and managed to get it out.
It was just the experience is bad and
just not nice now. So those little small pellety things or small toys, there's a reason that it says in them that they're not for certain ages.
Yeah.
And if you don't heed that, you'll find out pretty quick.
Maybe we should do a podcast on people putting things, getting stuck in places, that it shouldn't go.
Light bulbs and the likes. Yeah. My question about that, there's pictures of that with the X-ray with the light bulb up the bum. My question is, how did that not break when you're putting it in? And how would you not be terrified that it's going to break when it's in there?
Yeah, never again. Sorry.
Some weekend.
Yeah.
Was that the penthouse?
Trial and error.
At Flower Hill. It was just different things going on.
You do it with trial and error. Let's just say 6th or 7th attempt.
Ooh, ouchie. All right, let's move it on. The Puck Fair. Have you ever been to the Puck Fair?
Never.
No, neither have I.
Is there another word for it? Maybe I've been and I haven't called it Puck Fair.
No. Is it the Puck Fada? Is that a different thing?
No idea.
The Puck Fada is the...
Puck Fada is the game
where you hit the hurling ball across
road
fields.
Hurling.
Yeah. But the Puck Fair... Okay, I'll read this out anyway. It might lead to us knowing what it is. Yeah. So the Puck Fair to display goat for just 2 hours rather than the full 3 days over animal welfare. You didn't like this either. Lucy Falvey, who actually follows our podcast.
Oh, very good. Hi, Lucy.
Liked it.
Thanks for
she was part of some of the original. Do you remember we were doing the Tinder stories and stuff?
Yeah.
And she sent in a Tinder story.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. And she liked the podcast and stuff.
You'll have to listen back on that.
No, let's leave that alone. So Ireland's oldest festival, the Puck Fair, has returned, but it's made some changes. The festival is famous for featuring the goat in a cage above the town of Killorgan in County Kerry.
I remember this, yes.
You're a part of the world. Following a lot of ongoing debates about animal welfare concerns, the organisers have agreed to display King Puck for just 2 hours this year rather than the full 3 days. Just last year, King Puck was taken down on the second day as it was during a heat wave. Yeah, fair play.
Poor thing.
Yeah, I mean, old traditions and stuff like this. What are your thoughts on old traditions being changed? Is there certain ones that you've seen over the years that have changed that you would like to see be brought back, maybe? Is there certain things from our childhood that was actually grand, but today it would be deemed a little bit kind of, that's a bit dodgy?
There's probably a good few now, but just on top of my head, I couldn't.
I'm putting you on the spot. There was something I saw the other day, and it was Ace Ventura. Do you remember the movie Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
And someone said to me that it has aged horribly due to like the transphobia
and stuff like that.
Yeah. So there was the scene at the end of that there, and I watched it back. Yeah, I watched it back. And it was still funny.
Yeah, it was.
You know, it's still comedy. But is there something with society today? Do you think it's a bit... Are people gone a little bit soft on things? Is there a place for certain stuff, but not others? Is it going the right direction? What do you think?
I don't know. I think... No, I have no opinion, to be honest. If people want to get upset about things, that's their own scenario.
Nice sitting on the fence.
No, but I do. I think that's the idea. Like... To get upset about it, that's their personality. You know, people are different.
Yeah.
You've got to choose in your own mind whether that offends you or not.
Yeah.
So, again, life lesson by Johnny. If someone does something that offends you or whatever like that, or offends your religion, or offends something not personally offends you, like as in they don't personally insult you, but something that you don't like and you believe it's offensive. That's up to you to believe it's offensive.
Right.
That's it. So it's you that got offended. It's not that person's fault.
Okay, let me give you a hypothetical. What if you were out on your green at home, you're playing with your son, and someone comes onto the green and starts shouting like racist abuse at someone else, and it's around your family and stuff? Do you kind of go, okay, well, that's to each their own there. I mean, that's just there. Or do you go over, you be like, you shouldn't be saying that. You can't be saying that. That's not right.
I'd put my kids inside first.
Good first choice.
Explain to them that there's a lunatic out there. And then I would stroll over to this chap and ask him what the hell is he doing. Just to find out if he lived here or, Yes, but I wouldn't be going, that's racist. No, you can't be talking like that. I would be more concerned of making sure my kids are out of that.
They're safe
to
first.
unsee it. That man can do what he wants.
Yeah.
But then I just investigate further to go, are you going to be here tomorrow as well? Or so I just be, what time are you heading off? That kind of things. Do what you want there, pal, but when can I come back out?
Very peaceful. You'd be a very peaceful bouncer at a nightclub, I'd say.
Well, no, I'd be getting paid then to shoo that man away. If someone gave me money and said, you have to be offended by that guy, I'd be offended then.
So if I handed you a $5 and told you to go punch someone, would you do it?
Yep.
Class.
Yep.
Deadly. Do you not think that you need to, as a father, set an example for your kids to go, guys, you shouldn't stand around and do nothing when something like this happens? I think, for me anyway, if my daughter's now in secondary school, and more so now than before, I think there's more cultures involved in secondary school, lots of different ethnicities. And I would want my daughter to stand up for someone if she felt that they were being wronged in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know,
so if this man was in the middle of the green and he'd been racist towards a particular family that was in the estate, then I would stand up then, But if he's just shouting regular stuff that wasn't offensive to anybody in particular.
But just being a lunatic, that's a different story.
But if there was a Indian family or something like that in the estate and he was shouting about Indians or something like that, I probably would go confront him then. But I wouldn't, I don't know, I'd still put the kids inside so they didn't know.
Yeah.
But
your kids are, I suppose, they're a little bit younger than mine. I still put my kids away, actually. I keep making sure they're safe. That's the first thing, really, yeah. But you do want to kind
until they learn how to fight, I suppose.
Throw a nice dig. You do. I feel not the burden. It's a privilege being a dad, but I feel the weight of example a lot of the time when I'm in public with my kids. I feel the weight of I need to show them how to live or what's right and what's wrong, and say if there's a homeless person, you know, we treat them with respect. If you don't have change, I always ask, do you want a cup of tea? Can I go to get you a cup of tea or something? Or
you have to exaggerate everything. Exaggerate kindness. Like if you're crossing the road and someone stops the car to let you pass, I'd give a little wave. But with the kids, I'll make sure I exaggerate and say, kids, make sure you wave. So you can set an example that way with them. But with your point on seeing how, I just think they're a bit too young to be taught how to stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They can stand up for themselves as some boy is being mean, I suppose.
Yeah.
Tricky one.
Yeah, your son's in school now.
Someone said Spider-Man was silly, so I punched him in the face.
Yeah.
I was standing up for Spider-Man's rights.
All right, next bit of news. Okay, so this is an interesting one. But you know the Bermuda Triangle?
I do.
Yeah, you've ever been there?
Three sides.
Three sides, yeah.
I've never been there, no.
No, never been. So there's always been like the speculation around the Bermuda Triangle. It's been this mystery of, you know.
I was so paranoid. Like when I was 13, 14, I was obsessed with it. It was like, what is it?
It's such a sexy story, isn't it?
Documentaries, read books about it. Crazy.
We can't drink at the same time. Yeah, it's a fascinating, like that and aliens and that type of stuff. There's a lot of like, it is a really kind of fascinating thing to not believe in, but it's a fascinating thing to just think about. But Nick Hutchins, a mineral prospector interviewed for Channel 5 documentary Secrets of the Bermuda Triangle, said that geology could explain the disappearances of boats and planes. Okay. So what caused the disappearance of the ships, you may ask? And he says rocks. So Hutchins explained to the camera in 60-minute doc, Bermuda is basically a sea mountain. So it's an underwater volcano, 300 million years old. Or 300 million years ago, it was sticking above sea level. So it's down below sea level now. And it has now eroded away, and we're left with the top of the volcano. And there's a few core examples which have magnetite in them. I don't know what that is. It's the most magnetic, naturally occurring mineral on Earth. So magnets, I guess, that's what they're made of. So he used the dock to conduct an experiment to demonstrate using only small pieces of rock and a compass. And when he put the rocks over the compass, it basically sent them all over the place.
A lot of them ships would have used the compass to navigate.
Navigating, yeah. Same with planes as well. So basically what he says was happening at Bermuda is that there's this underwater volcano, and because of the levels of this magnetite stuff, whenever planes would fly over it, it would send everything haywire. Didn't know where they were going. They'd turn this way, that way, crash into the water. Same with boats, they'd go off course. And that's basically what he's saying explains this Bermuda Triangle.
Mad.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
I'm a little bit disappointed that it's not an
I thought it was
actual
giant whirlpool.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah,
or huge one, like
that there was a kraken or something that lived down under the sea.
Yeah, like a big sea urchin.
No, magnets.
I don't believe it. So let's go back to these.
Let's continue to believe our sexy story.
Who believes in magnets?
Okay, Electric Picnic announce a ban on disposable vapes.
Oh yes, thumbs up to that.
Yeah, big thumbs up.
It's the most ridiculous thing. Vapes. I just don't comprehend them. Even disposable ones. It's like a step backwards.
Yeah.
I can't comprehend how these are legal.
We've seen what these things do to your lungs.
Yeah, you see what you do to your lungs, and they litter.
Yeah.
And they're a battery.
Yeah.
It's not just normal litter.
That's what you're putting in your
mouth.
mouth.
It's an iPhone battery being thrown around.
It's crazy.
I can't comprehend vapes, disposable vapes. Can't comprehend it at all.
I see at a lot of the Debs, I see kids vaping indoors. Just walking around vaping, blowing smoke into the air. And I don't understand how this hasn't been made. We've had this cultural shift since we were young, that smoking inside is bad.
Yeah.
And that we pushed it outdoors in order to try and lessen the amount of people that smoke, and we put taxes on smoke to try and, or cigarettes to try and make less people smoke because we know it's bad for us, it gives us cancer. Yeah. Yet there hasn't been this push on vapes for some reason. Kids are walking around smoking them indoors in shopping centres. So I don't understand why there hasn't been this push so far. Why isn't it?
I don't know. It seems to be like someone's pushing like the brown envelopes, something like that, because it just seems so odd to me that we've gotten over this cigarette scenario and now there's these vape things that are coming in and we know nothing about. There's no legislation in the sense of where to put them afterwards, how to literally dispose. You can't put them properly into bins because I think landfills, you can't, like landfills.
Oh, can you not just fire them into bin?
You can. Oh, but that's the thing. You can put them in the bins, but the landfills are now full of batteries. That's crazy. Which is bad for the environment. They're all seeping into thing. It's madness what's going on. But it's getting more and more popular because one of the warehouses that we rent, it shares with a vape company.
Oh right.
And Jesus, there's like Indiana. Did you ever see the end of Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Literally like that. It's just pallets and pallets and pallets of them. Like
that's crazy.
Millions, hundreds of millions of euros worth of stock.
And who's in control of that? Is it nicotine companies? Is it cigarette companies?
No, it's an individual owner.
They're
whoever wants to make them.
Right, okay.
Like a load of different companies make them. Probably made in Turkey or India or wherever. Like.
And does anyone know? There's obviously nicotine in the vape fluid, is there?
There would be nicotine, yeah.
Right, and that's what's making them addictive.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
And but I don't even understand vapes. Like, why would you use a vape instead of a cigarette? Like, is it meant to be healthier?
Apparently, that was the way it started. Yeah. And that it wasn't as bad for your lungs as smoking.
Apparently, though.
Yeah. That's like saying, kicking yourself in the balls isn't quite the same as hitting yourself with a hammer.
Yeah.
It's not quite as bad.
A habit's a habit, like.
Yeah, and it's stuff that you're putting into your lungs, for God's sake. Smoking nowadays, like, do you remember back, say, when we were in our 18, 19 sort of area?
Yeah.
When you go into a nightclub and it was just filled with a haze of smoke.
Oh, just smell of smoke, yeah.
Smoke. And then all of a sudden, when the band came in, it was just like sticky carpet, gross smelling.
Smell. You could smell the bar and the smelly water.
It was just gross in nightclubs. Yeah. So there's this shift from it being stinking of smoke. And you used to come home from a night out. Remember, you just stink of smoke.
Yeah.
To just be stinking of like sweat.
But it then turned out that the smoking areas were the best part of a nightclub as well. Then.
Yeah.
So I didn't even smoke, and I spent most of my time in the smoking areas.
Yeah, it's great crack. It's the same now. Like, I mean, there's at the Debs we do as well. There's a smoking area, and sometimes it can be hard to fill the dance floor if you're not doing a good job. You won't fill the dance floor, and like everyone's up in the smoking area, just chilling out, even if they don't smoke.
Madness.
Would there be a call for having just one big nightclub as like one big smoking area,
like an outdoor nightclub? Some way, like with a stage and a crowd.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever work.
No?
No, like an outdoor, like a festival type area.
Yeah, but still part of like a pub. I think that'd be mighty crack. Oh, I don't think you get many singers or artists looking to play in smoking areas though. Be really bad. I was prior to the smoking ban singing in pubs,
right.
But I cannot imagine what it'd be like to actually sing in a pub full of smoke.
Yeah,
I'd say
you'd probably be breathing in a good bit more, wouldn't you?
Oh God, yeah.
Well, there's plenty of Irish lads that did Irish trad music and stuff like that. They all lived until 99 years old.
Yeah.
They were probably in smoking pipes and cigarettes all their years.
So random, isn't it?
Yeah. Weird.
Anyway, two other little bits of news quickly. I'll just do a quick one, then we'll move on to our topic for today. So the Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Have you ever been to an Oktoberfest?
No, I've never been.
Mighty. I haven't been to one in Germany. I was at one in Dublin.
I've been to a beer places in Germany, and it was almost like mini Oktoberfest because they have the long tables. It's just like a normal beer day for them. It's like Tuesday.
Yeah, it's kind of like Paddy's Day, isn't it? Really, but it's all focused around beer.
Yeah,
delicious beer.
Weiss beer. I love Weiss beer.
So beautiful. We did a corporate thing for I can't remember who it was. It was one of those big German Weiss beers.
Strapperman?
No, keep going.
Erdinger?
Yes, Erdinger. So we did a corporate thing for them, playing a gig. They had like one of those big umpity dumpity bands before us. Boom, 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 boom.
Very good. With the big bass.
And then we went on and played for 2 hours and did that. But part of the payment was that you could as much free drink as you want.
Drink.
So we had this big steins, the big massive mugs.
Yes.
It's not a pint, it's like 4 pints in one.
Class.
And you just kept on going back up and getting them refilled. Oh, that's Fred the fly.
Fred.
So we kept on going up and getting refills. By the time we were going on stage, we were hammered.
Yeah.
With this delicious beer. And we just
so tasty German beer. I love German beer.
Beautiful.
I go to Germany quite a bit now, and I just love the after work beers. Class.
It's so tasty beer, isn't it? Yeah, I like a beer. Not too much, but I like a beer from time to time.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest with an Irish twist is coming to Ireland next month, obviously in October.
We should do something. We should go for a beer.
We should. We should do a podcast around. Yes. We always say this every week.
We definitely will do an Oktoberfest themed podcast one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beer. Let's do a podcast on beer. Bertie wouldn't have a clue what we're talking about. So we
could sneak bits of beer into Bertie's beverages.
We'll see if he listens to this podcast now. He's going to have to watch. That fly's really annoying, isn't he?
Really likes our faces.
So he likes your face, not mine for some reason. Are you wearing cologne?
No, the opposite actually. I haven't worn cologne at all.
Ever in
pure
my
pong.
All right. It smells lovely.
Oda John.
So the lads that created that Bingo Loco are behind the new what does it say here? Oktoberfest themed dates. So there's 10 dates in September and October, and it's basically just big beer festivals. So if you look for Oktoberfest, so it's FEIS.
Oh, I've seen some influencer people doing it, like the launch or something like that.
Oh, really?
They were at the launch.
That must have been coming this week. So that's the big thing that's going to be hitting in the next few weeks. I would advise it. German beer is good. Oktoberfest is good.
Yeah. Weiss beer, definitely go with Weiss beer. Ask the barman for Weiss beer.
Yeah,
gorgeous, stunning stuff.
Delicious. Okay, last little piece of news, and let's get on to it now. This is the last one, but this is a really good one.
Yes.
So it'll tie in with our theme for today as well.
Lovely.
So a 12-year-old becomes the youngest person to pass the Leaving Cert Maths exam, and she got 97%.
Jesus.
In the Leaving Cert Maths, I failed
in maths.
I failed
incredible.
My Leaving Cert Maths.
12 years old.
When I was in Leaving Cert. 12 years old. Cara Darmody, fair play to Cara, who sat the Leaving Cert Maths exam 6 years early, has made history today with her amazing result of 97%. Cara wants to be Taoiseach when she's older. She probably can if she wants to be. And sat the paper to raise funds for autism services and awareness about the lack of resource for children with autism.
All right.
I thought
she's obviously autistic, is she?
I guess, or else someone in her family is. But 97%.
That's incredible.
In Leaving Cert Maths.
And you failed yours.
I failed my maths.
Just show you don't need it. You don't need it.
No, perfectly successful. Yeah. Nothing I did in school, I think, other than jamming with my friends at lunchtime, prepared me for what my career was in the future.
Yeah, I scraped through my Leaving Cert as well.
But you got through though?
Yeah, I don't think I failed any subjects. Got like 41% in a lot of them.
Good man.
But I didn't study, you see, because I knew I was going to be a carpenter, so I purely did not study.
Yeah. And when you opened your Leaving Cert results, were you disappointed?
I wasn't disappointed. My father was.
Oh, was he?
I wasn't disappointed. Once I passed, I was happy. I didn't care about how many points because I wasn't going to college. I knew I wasn't going to college.
Yeah.
So I didn't need any points. I didn't even fill out a CEO form.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were sorted.
I was like, carpenter. I'm going to be a carpenter. I could have left school when I was 16, so I was literally just going through the motions of doing a leaving cert.
Good man.
That's my mindset.
But you got through it.
Got through it.
And I was trying really hard and I failed.
my teacher said to me before the leaving cert, because before the leaving cert, you pick which one. Oh, you have a choice of whether I want to do foundation maths or higher level or whatever. And I was picking like medium maths or whatever it was.
To pass maths.
And the teacher pulled me in and she's like, John, I really think you should do foundation maths.
Oh, really?
I'm like, no, I'll do the medium maths or whatever it was. I really think you should do the foundation.
Right.
It's like, no, I'll be fine. And I think it was like, 41% or 40% on the maths I got.
Great.
Or no, maybe I even got 37%, but something in the way the rules went, it pushed you up another 3% and then I passed or something.
Oh, lovely.
I can't remember something like that. I can't remember. Honestly, I can't emphasize enough how much I didn't really concentrate on my leaving cert.
So this kind of takes us into our topic today, so we might as well just start our
kick
topic.
in there.
So I was chatting to someone today, and the leaving cert results actually, or the leaving cert offers come out today. Right.
Of college college acceptance.
Yeah, college acceptances come out today, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And the results came out yesterday, or no, Monday. Sorry, Monday. And everyone found out. Or was it Friday?
It was
maybe?
Thursday or Friday.
No, it was Friday last week. You're right.
There was a tragic.
Yeah, they got their points, and then there was people celebrating over the weekend. So they come out last week, and then the offers are now on Wednesday. So everyone's been kind of taking in what they've been got, and I was talking to a student of mine. I've had him since he was 5, and he did his leaving cert there. Yeah, I did his music. Got 100% in his music.
Very good.
And his mum was saying he got something like 540 or something in his leaving. And his mum was saying, look, I really don't care what he gets in his leaving, as long as he set a target for himself and he achieved that target. So if the target was 300 points and his course was 300 points and he hit his target, then that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to push him beyond his limits or what he, because there's just so much going around with kids, like depression for kids and teenagers and stuff.
Fair play to her, because she actually gave him a model of guidance.
Yeah.
So she could have just let him fend for himself, but it's really good.
Yeah, it was a nice thing to do. I think that's a nice way to do it.
Yeah.
But this kid, because of that, like she's like, you set your target, you find your course, and he went for his course was 539 or something, and he set the target of obviously 539, and he got over it. He got 540 or 550 or something, so he got over his target. But because she let him set the target, he set it really high. Brilliant. And he went to achieve it. Whereas if your parents are pushing you and they're constantly on top of you, you need to go study and you go do this, you need to get good points or leave it, blah blah blah, and no guidance around it, you often find that they'll underachieve to what they're
very good
looking to get. Yeah,
very good, very smart.
We're talking about today is back to school time.
Yeah, so all the kids started school this week.
Yes. Yeah. Or different days and stuff. A lot of kids going back in different days.
Yeah.
What do you remember of going back to school at different age levels?
I remember the first day of ever going to school.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I can still remember that. Because
no way.
It was fairly traumatic.
Oh, right.
Because I think it was easier on some kids these days because they would have went to play school or would have went to creche or stayed in the creche because both parents work now.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of has to go to a creche. But back when I was at Gosson, my mother was a housewife, so I would have been at home alone with her for the first 5 years of my life. I wouldn't have had friends or anything like that. So I would have went into this school environment not knowing anything about friendship or who else was in the world.
You didn't know there was other tiny people?
I didn't know there was other people.
Holy shit.
I lived out in the countryside. I was literally a hermit for 5 years.
Why am I the smallest person on earth?
Yes. It's like, why are these dwarves around here? So I went in and basically I was like, why are you bringing me in here? I literally remember I was 5 years old. What was it? 35 years ago.
Right.
And panicked. Absolutely whinged and bawled.
No way.
Yeah, jeez, I put up a fight.
Yeah.
But the mother said her heart was broken. She had to leave me and I was just panicking. But then it settled down once the parent-teacher came over and started playing with me.
Right.
But I still remember. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that and an experience that happens to you when you're like 4 or 5, 6 can stay with you for the rest of your life. So make sure you look after your kids because they will remember.
Yes, exactly. That freaks me out sometimes when say something happens. I'm like, oh shit, did I just create a core memory?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I remember I think it wasn't maybe my first day. It was in the first or second day of my second year in school. So I'd just come down here from the north. We were living in Belfast, and we came down to the south. So it would have been the senior infants or first class, I think.
Junior infants would. Oh no, so you would have been coming
second year.
Yeah, so you would have been.
I think it was senior infants.
Yeah.
And I remember getting someone's bag of crisps. I don't know why I did this, but I grabbed someone's bag of crisps and I
popped it,
and I went poof, and went all over the place. I don't know why. I didn't know crisps could do that.
Mad.
And I don't remember who it was. I'd love to, if there's someone out there, like we probably would have went to school together all the way through school.
Yeah,
it was someone that I was in secondary school with.
You
definitely
remember it was someone.
So if anyone's out there and remembers that,
that's some bratty kid bust your crisps. They're at home going, that was it. That was him.
Do you remember hot cross buns and milk?
Oh man, I do. Yeah.
Was it milk? Yeah.
Yeah, it was milk. Yeah,
and hot cross buns.
Warm milk. Well, yeah, because it was like that milk that you didn't have to refrigerate.
Milk. UHT milk.
But I remember the hot cross buns, gorgeous with the raisins in them.
Oh, they were lovely, especially when they were hot. Not so much when they're cold.
Yeah, some of them used to come in fairly warm still.
Lovely.
Class.
That was our version of food dudes.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was milk and buns.
Milk and buns, and then just. I think it's not much changed now, except for the technology in the room. Because Isabel comes home to me because the priest still goes round and stuff like that.
Get out. Oh, she's St. Mary's?
She's St. Mary's.
Oh, right, she's a Catholic school, yeah.
The priest still comes round and tells people to be good for God.
Good for God. How does that make you feel?
Be
good for God.
Be good for God.
Jesus.
It's on a t-shirt.
Oh, man. Yeah. We just named the podcast.
Yeah.
We don't have to think of a name.
Yeah. Madness.
That's a good t-shirt. I'm going to make that.
Be good. It's a perfect band name.
That's brilliant. Oh, it's a good band name as well. Yeah. So that's in St. Mary's. And is that the priest from the church across the road?
Yeah.
Is he involved in the school in some way?
Yeah, he'd be heavily involved actually. He like literally goes over and looks at who is going to get accepted into the school. Everything like
what?
Yeah, he's part of the like parole board or whatever it is, or the
parole board.
Whatever. I don't know what to do in the school.
You're sentencing them to 7 years in primary school.
But he's in part of that. Like, yeah, they're on the board like a nun as well, and they're all about they choose who comes into the school or who gets accepted or who doesn't.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Literally holy moly.
That stuff still happens, I believe.
I know. Now, we were coming to Trim from Navan, and our daughter, both of our daughters, but Faye isn't baptised. So we were looking at St. Mary's and Trim.
Yeah.
And we were looking at Educate Together as well. We were looking at both of them.
The one at Kilbride?
No, Educate Together and Trim.
Right, okay.
So it was in, do you know where the Glebe golf course is?
Yes.
It was
in there, yeah.
So that's where we ended up going, was Educate Together, and I'm glad we did in the end. It was a great school.
They've got great schools.
Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But we went for St. Mary's as well, put her name down for St. Mary's, but because she wasn't baptised, there was a list of people already there, and she would have gone behind the people who were, the prioritised people who are baptised over who aren't.
Yeah.
Which to me was a little bit crazy. Because that is the main school in the town.
Yeah.
Primary school, realistically.
Yeah. But it is Catholic school, I suppose, and it's a tricky one.
It's interesting though. You know, I thought like Catholic faith is inclusion and.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't feel very inclusive.
I do think the church shouldn't be involved in education.
I don't think so.
It should be well removed from it at this stage. No, back in the day, like in the 1900s or 1920s, I understand because it was such a big influence on the country. Like being a priest was like being a doctor.
Yeah.
But now in this day and age where there's a bit of doubt and there's a bit of scandal and stuff like that, it should be just removed fully. So
but priests and nuns aren't educators.
No.
They aren't anymore.
No.
They were meant to be back in the day, but again, they were
even back in the day. They weren't even educated
they weren't.
In some way.
They were just put in that position to be.
Just now you're a teacher there.
Yeah. And I was. Were you?
I was taught
by priests.
I was taught by nuns.
Yeah, me too.
You got slapped by them, everything by rulers.
Did you get slapped?
Yeah.
In St. Mary's.
Yep.
Name redacted school.
yeah. Beep beep. But yeah, no. I used to. Whenever we were bowled, we used to had to line up and get smacked in our hand with a ruler.
Ooh, don't know what that was. Oh, okay. I don't know if that'll come through in the podcast, but
hopefully that's not Jesus sending this.
that's exactly what it
Don't
is.
talk about my nuns.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Anyway,
we are recording, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. But someone's listening to us. That's for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, back in the day we used to get slapped. That was the good old days.
God, I don't remember getting slapped now.
No, we got slapped with rulers. Now, I think that was I was the last year, when that was not.
Jesus,
frowned upon.
I bet that Johnny fell sideways. I've got that out of my system now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think I'll start being good to kids.
I still remember, and I was only 7, I'd say. But again, core memory. I remember lining up and getting slapped under it. Now I'm telling you, it was only a
little tap.
Like
still though,
yeah.
Imagine that nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, you would not get away with this.
But that was the way after evolution. Like I'd say 20 years ago it would have been a harder slap. 20 years before that was kick up the arse.
Yeah, or a punch in the face. Yeah. I remember in secondary school, I won't name the teacher because I believe he's still a teacher in the school. So I'm not going to give his name. But I was doing something in class. I was either talking or I was just acting the aegis because I was 5th or 6th year.
Was this in the tech?
No, the brothers. Well, it was Boyne at that stage.
Boyne, yeah.
So I've actually given the name. I won't say what. Actually, I'm going to have to say what subject it is. So it'll be pretty easy to
the
tell.
Subject and the year.
So he, I was talking or whatever.
And it was he. Grant.
Oh crap! You're going to know who it is straight away. Anyway, I was talking or whatever, and he was doing something on the board, and he turned around and he grabbed a textbook.
Jesus.
And he fired it at me. And
hit you?
It didn't hit me, luckily enough. Just kind of grazed me. But he turned around and he was like, actually, I was going to do the accent and everything.
Oh, yeah, then you definitely know who it
He
was.
goes, I really hope you make it in maths, Sonny, because...
the Sonny thing gave you away as well.
Yeah, it did, yeah. I really hope you make it in music. That's what he said,
right.
Sonny, because you'll never make it in maths.
Ha, you showed him.
No, I didn't. I failed maths. He was right. And it was just one of those things where I was kind of froze for a second. I was like, did he actually just throw a book at me?
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Mad.
And I thought all that stuff was done. But I remember my cousin getting a slap of a meter stick on the hands. And he's only a year... 2 years older than me.
I got a slap on a meter stick as well.
Yeah, well, one of the teachers in the school, I believe he's still there as well, got a slap of the meter stick on the hands for not doing the homework.
Mad.
Isn't that crazy? And that started kind of dying out then.
That died straight after,
But do you remember the first day of secondary school?
No.
You don't?
I think I do. I think I remember doing when you had to go in for an open day?
Yeah.
I remember the open day going in before to walk around the classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that day.
Oh, right, okay.
That was it.
That was in the
I don't
tech.
remember the actual. Yeah, that was the tech. The Trim Vocational School.
Our first day of school, there was someone... That fly's really annoying, isn't he?
He's still on you.
He loves me now. There was someone who turned up for the first day of secondary school and their uniform was destroyed.
Oh, Jesus.
It's as if they'd been wearing it all summer. Everyone was lined up.
He wore it in properly.
I think you know who I'm talking about as well. So we were all lined up in the yard in the secondary school. I don't know if it was that yard was there when you were there. No, it would have been gone. There was a handball alley there and stuff. And all of the first years were all lined up in a big line. And he walked in like 10, 15 minutes late. In with the trousers destroyed, the jumper was dirty. He'd been wearing the uniform for weeks, just chilling around town in it. It was such a novelty for him to wear a uniform, so he came in bogging the first day. And that's what I remember. Again, another core memory.
I can't. And that was Bertie, was it?
That was Bertie. Yeah, yeah.
This is mad.
No, Bertie wasn't in my school at that stage. He was in your school.
He was too.
What made you choose the tech over the brothers?
It wasn't up to me. My mother went to school there, so she just believed in the tech was good.
Oh, she went to the tech?
My mother went to the tech as well.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
What about
my brother went to the tech.
So that was just,
the sisters obviously went to Scullware, but
right.
It was just a family school.
Right.
And it was on our side of the town. It was just handy for everything. I lived out the Boardsmill Road, so I cycled into the tech and cycled home.
What did you think of the lads that were in the brothers? Were they like the enemy?
They were a bit higher end than the tech lads, I think.
Right, okay.
They were a bit more snobby-ish.
So you did feel that?
Yeah.
Because we were totally
Yeah, I know
snobby.
you were.
Yeah, we looked down on the tech guys.
But yeah. No, we didn't look up at you guys, but we did kind of frown upon you.
Oh, right, okay.
We were like, what are brothers doing over this time? But I think we didn't. You guys weren't allowed to go down at lunchtime, weren't you? Not
up until later years. It would have been 5th, 6th years. We're allowed downtown.
I think from junior cert we were allowed to tip down the town.
Oh yeah, same as.
Yeah.
First, second. Oh no, not junior. Sorry, first, second, third. I think we had.
But
to
we
stay
never
in the
met
school.
you. We never met you on the streets.
You wouldn't have. We wouldn't have been hanging around the streets. You see, we're a bit upper class. Like,
You
chilling out.
would have went like
drinking wine.
Yeah, having charcuterie boards in the park.
The boys from the tech are way downtown to the post office.
Yeah, maybe different hours or something like that.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah,
Different lunch hour.
I imagine it would have been strategically done that they wouldn't let
mix,
the boys
wouldn't
mix.
mingle. Yeah, because it would have been roused. It would have been.
Absolutely.
It's that time, you know the name. It's the reason we all came. Find the words that are the same. It's that time to play the Waffle Game.
So we're going to do the Waffle Game, but instead of there being the Waffle Game, it's going to be
one against another. It's going to be a single person.
It's going to be just you. Now this quiz.
No pressure. No pressure.
This is we did the best friends quiz. Remember a few weeks ago.
BFF quiz, yes.
And it was me versus you, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we've done that a few times.
Yeah.
So
I knew a lot about you.
Well, today I'm going to see how much you know about Bertie.
Okay.
All right. So
Damn
five questions to see how well you know Bertie.
And do you have the answers as well?
I have the answers and the questions. I texted them earlier on. I was like,
all right.
Can you do this for me?
Well prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Well, I just didn't want to prepare a thing in. I was like, Bertie, you do it. All right. So can you give me Bertie's birthday?
I was going to say, don't ask me his birthday. January.
Yeah.
19th.
Ooh.
16th.
23rd.
23rd, that was it.
Yeah. You were close enough. January's good. I said January as well when he initially sent me these. All right. Do you know what Bertie's first car was?
Yes, it was a Renault van.
Right.
Renault Megane van.
Ooh.
Red.
You're right. It's a Renault, all right.
Now, Renault, I can't remember the name of the second name of it. I have it in my mind. I know what it is.
It's a Renault 19.
Like Renault 19, rusty red.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think I said Renault as well for some reason. Yeah. Or a van of some sort is what I said. But it was a van, yeah?
Yep.
All right.
Van, yeah. We all had vans back then.
Bert has siblings. Can you tell me how many he has, what they are, and what their names are?
Oh, names, no. I know he has one sister.
Okay. Good start.
And a brother.
Yes, correct. Well done. Okay.
Yes,
you can't give me names?
No, I cannot give names.
Barnabas and Penelope.
Oh, beautiful names.
Yeah, no, that's not their names. It's Keith and Clodagh. Is that fly annoying you
again? It's on my mic trying to get into my mouth.
Fecker, he loves you. Okay, so you got the brother and sister thing.
Nice.
So we'll give you that, but not the names. Okay. Do you remember what Bertie's first job was?
Bertie's first job was a stonemason.
Close. That was me. No, his first job was picking strawberries.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Do you not remember the story he told?
But that was like his own strawberries at home. That's not a job.
No.
Well, my first job was a greenhouse picker.
Picking greenhouses.
Picking greenhouses.
Getting oil off them is your only job now at the
Yeah.
moment. All right. And then I don't think you're going to get this one now. I didn't get this either. He's looking for his favourite Liverpool player.
His favourite Liverpool player of all time.
Of all time.
Neymar.
Hilarious.
Salah. Mo Salah.
No, it was Steven Gerrard or Xabi Alonso. He would have settled for either of them. That fly's really going after you. Okay, so you
right
got...
where I put my lips.
I'm going to give you the January one because it was close enough. Yeah, he's annoying you. January 23rd, I'll give you that one. The Renault, I'll give you.
Okay, thanks.
Just because it wasn't 19, but the brother and sister, I'll give you that as well.
Yeah,
but
nice.
names, we'll give you a point for that.
Mm-hmm.
Picking strawberries you didn't get, and then the favourite Liverpool. So you got 3 out of 5.
Not bad.
That's pretty decent.
Not bad.
Is it best friend territory? Do you have to reevaluate your friendship?
I don't know. You see, the two ones that I lost out on, we don't talk about. We don't connect on that part. Like, we don't talk about sport. Bertie knows that, so he'll never tell me his favourite Liverpool player.
Yeah.
If I talked about sport with him all the time, I definitely would know.
Yeah.
And I only met his sister once. Down in like, she lived in, I think we went for a road trip down to her house in like Bogarson or like Mullingar or something like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Bogarson nowhere.
Yeah.
Mullingar's like only down the road. Although kids generally learn eating and tasting food at home, these skills are reinforced in schools in France. So actually eating food is in part of the curriculum of schooling.
Eating is encouraged.
It's not just encouraged, it's a subject. It's part of the curriculum in France.
How to eat.
How to eat. How to Okay, I'll read out what it says. So but also to display good manners, etiquette, and how to clean up after yourself. So it's how to prepare your food, how to sit, how to engage with someone while you're eating, and then how to put your food away.
And which fork to use.
Yeah, and cleaning trays up after yourself. They do a lot of that in Asia and stuff as well. It's all about how to leave no trace.
Interesting.
So when you're in a restaurant, to put it all away, and then...
Oh, really? In the restaurants as well?
Yeah. Put it back in the tray, and then away you go.
That's awesome.
There you go.
I did not know that.
Do you have a shell bomb?
Yes. School.
Oh, okay.
The largest school in the world.
Right.
Guess how many pupils it has.
I'm going to say 5,000.
No, go again.
1.2 million. That was a bit more than that, is it?
56,000.
Genie Mac.
In one school.
I'm going to guess it's either China or India. It's
India,
Asia.
you're right.
Yeah.
So 56,000 in one school. 4,500 teachers.
What?
Yeah, in one
How
school.
big is the campus even?
I don't know. It's called a City Montessori School, so it's even for kids.
Whoa.
It's in the 2009 Guinness World Book of Records.
That is crazy. Would you send your kid to that school? They'd never come back
Get
home.
lost. You could bring home a wrong child.
Yeah. Sure wouldn't really matter.
Madness.
Holy moly. All right, we'll leave you with Bertie's shell bomb for the day.
So, do you know the way obviously people buy pets and stuff like that? But maybe what you didn't know is that in Switzerland, it's prohibited the ownership of one guinea pig. Since guinea pigs are such a social creatures, one guinea pig would get very lonely. So only having one is considered animal abuse in Switzerland.
Amazing.
There you go. Well, I suppose if they're very socially going to be alone, but I guarantee you there's a lot of guinea pigs in the rest of the world that must be very lonely then. I'm not sure why it's only guinea pigs and not all other animals.
The JB Waffle